Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Doggo Box. My name is Tammie and I'm the Chieftain here at Canines. Thank you very much for listening tonight. I'm just going to give people a few minutes to jump on. So while we're doing that, I want to tell you about next week's live. So hi Tam. So next week I'm very excited. I've got a brilliant guest. Two very special guests actually. And they're very special because they're actually part of my clan. So it's a little Yorkie called Daisy and her human, Lisa, and they're coming on to do an interview because Daisy is actually a therapet. Now, for people who don't know what a therapet is, then you definitely need to join us next week and find out. And Lisa's going to be talking all about sort of what it involves and, you know, how you can actually get involved with it if it's something that you'd be keen to do with your dog. And it's such a worthwhile cause and they're always crying out for new dogs. So it's going to be a really, really good interview next week. So please do join us for that next Monday at 7:30. And then the week after that, unfortunately, there's not going to be a live post. So that's Monday the 23rd of July, and that's because that's actually my birthday week, and unfortunately I actually have got plans that night, so we're going to have a little break that week and we won't be doing a live. So anyway, hi guys that are coming on, please do say hello if you're there and you're watching. Hi Tam, Scott, Jennifer, how are you doing? And Ailey's there as well, hi Ailey. So yeah guys, do hit the likes and the loves as well. It just means that more people can actually see this post, so I'd really appreciate that if you could do that. So this week, what I'm here to talk about is something that I said I would talk about weeks ago, and I actually haven't got round to it because I've been interviewing all these fabulous people. So I decided I was going to do it this week before it got forgotten again. And that was to talk about some of my favourite dog walking spots that are actually out with of Edinburgh. So I know I've done a live before, and that was talking about places that I go in Edinburgh for walks that are maybe about an hour long or something like that. So what we're talking about today is walks where maybe if you've got like a full day free or an afternoon free and you want to go somewhere with your dog and spend a bit longer. Now the reason I know about these places is because once a month we have what we call a Clan Chieftain's Crusade. So it's it's probably one of the most premium services that I offer at Clan Canines, and you have to be a clan member to be able to take part. And what we do is we do it on a Sunday, and I take the dogs and we go out with the city to a great location. I pick them up between like 9 and 10 in the morning and drop them off again between 4 and 5 in the afternoon. So the owners do get a dog-free day, which, you know, we all absolutely adore our pets, but sometimes, you know, you've got stuff to do, and it's just nice to actually have a day that you know that your dog's away and having loads of fun and a big adventure, and they're going to come back and they've had a great time and you've had a little bit of time to get some stuff done. So that's how the Clan Chieftain's Crusade sort of came about. It was through my clients actually asking for something like that. And so today I'm going to talk about a few of the locations that we go to, so you can hopefully get some inspiration. Hi Shirley, and there's Lisa. Lisa, I don't know if you heard, I was talking about you about next week's live. Hi Harriet. So anyway, without much further ado, I'm going to talk about the first place. So this is actually just over the bridge in Fife. So if this is a great walk, if it's a nice day, the views are just amazing. I've done this now a couple of times with the Clan Chieftain Crusades because it's just brilliant. So you can either park up at Burnt Island, or you can actually drive a little bit further along and park up at Kinghorn, where Kinghorn Beach is, and there's quite a few spaces, and there's a little car park next to the beach as well, so you know you can get somewhere to park. And then what you can do is you can actually walk the Fife Coastal Path, and it takes you right along the coastline up, and we walked as far as Kirkcaldy Beach. So it's a good few miles for if you start at Kinghorn Beach and walk along and come back, you know, you're looking at I'd say at least 10 miles. And if you start at Burnt Island, which is a little bit further along, then, you know, you're adding quite a bit of mileage onto that as well. So, you know, allow yourself plenty of time. But the first time we went, and we started at Burnt Island actually, and then by the time we got to Kinghorn Beach, the tide was a little bit out, so it was great. So you could get out, the dogs went out and had a play, and Kinghorn Life, our LNI lifeboats, they launch from there, and there's a great little cafe next to that as well. So, you know, either at the start or at the end of the walk when you come back, you can stop there and get a wee drink. And they always have bowls of water out for your dog as well, which is fab. And you honestly walk right along the coastline, and the first time we did it, actually whales had been spotted, like not the country, the mammals. There'd been whales spotted in the water, so there was loads of people whale watching, and you see the seals as well. I mean, it's amazing. It's just on a beautiful day, it's fantastic. So that's a really good walk. And you can say if you park up at Kinghorn, you can walk along and then just turn back on yourself. Or if there's a couple of you, obviously one of you could park your cars at one spot and then drive back to the other one and walk along and just do it one way if you didn't have as much time or you weren't feeling quite as energetic. Hi Karen! So that's a great one, guys, and that really is one of my favourites. I do absolutely love it. On the other side of the water, if you want to stay on the Edinburgh side, a really good one that we do as well is actually we drive up to Gullin Bents and park there. So there's a car park there. And again, you can walk right along the coastline for miles, really. We walked to sort of North Berwick. Now, it is, what I would say on this one is you want to try to time it so that the tide is out when you're doing this. It just makes it a lot easier, because there's parts that if the tide's in, you're having to come up and maybe walk a little bit more along sort of main roads and things like that. So do have a look online, check the tide times and try to time it with the tide being out. But it's such a beautiful walk, and I've been there, we've done that a couple of times with the dogs as well. I would say that you're looking at about, again, 7 to 10 miles, I would say, sort of return walk. So it's a really good one. You can have a good few hours of it. You can take a picnic. There's plenty of spots on the beach where you can stop and have some food, and your dogs can get some water. But yeah, no, that's a great one. Really, really enjoy that one. And so that's my kind of coastal walks. I always do like to try to keep near water, whether it's the sea or whether it's a reservoir or a loch. It just sort of breaks the day up for the dogs a little bit as well. And if it is a hot day, it means that they can get, especially at this time of the year, it means they can get in the water as well and have a wee cool down and a wee play. One of our other favourite spots, and where we actually were for our Curly Crusade, I think it was last week, is Harlaw Reservoir. So this isn't as far out of Edinburgh, it's really just on the outskirts to the west. I live Ball Green, and so it's like about a 15-minute drive at the most. So if you're West Edinburgh, it's not going to take you very long to get there. And it's a great one because it's quite shaded, so with the weather being so hot at the moment, it's a really good choice, which is why we went there last Monday. So you can stay under the trees, but you walk right round Harlaw Reservoir, and then there's a reservoir sort of attached to it called Threapmuir, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is also attached to it, so you can walk sort of halfway around that as well, and then you can follow that up, and there's a few different ways you can do. So there's like the Red Moss Walk, which you can go around, or actually if you follow the path up, you can actually get into the Pentland Hills as well. So when we did it as a Clan Chieftain Crusade, we went round Harlaw Reservoir, went halfway round Threapmuir, we followed the path along, it's all quite well signposted, so it's not too hard to find, and then we went up into the Pentland Hills, walked right along. The one thing I would say with that, guys, is once you're up into the Pentlands, I would strongly advise that you keep your dogs on the lead, or you keep them on very, very close to you if they've got really good recall. The reason for that is there is sheep in the Pentland Hills, and there's other livestock, and the last thing you want is that your dog sort of terrifying or concerning any of the livestock. So be really, really careful on that one. But the reservoirs themselves, you're fine. You just have to watch at this time of the year. There's fishers in the reservoir, and there is signs asking that you make sure that your dogs aren't harassing the fishers, which is fair dues, I think. So that's a really good walk, and you can really make that a full day one and come back along the reservoir again at the end. And there's a great, I can't remember what the van's called. I don't know if there's anyone local on, they might be able to to tell me, but there's like a little sort of catering van that is at the Harlow Reservoir Visitor Centre, so right at the start near the car park, and they make the most amazing crepes and they have lovely coffees and everything, so you can really make a day of it. You can stop there, and they have little picnic tables round the back if you'd brought your own food as well, but really you want to get some food from this van because it's delicious. It's really good. I can highly recommend the crepes. But that's a lovely walk, guys, and yeah, you can make it, you can, if you don't want to make a full day out of it, maybe if you've only got 2 or 3 hours, you can just do the 2 reservoirs, and if you've got a bit longer and you really want to exercise your dog, then you can go up into the Pentland Hills with that one as well. So that one is Harlow Reservoir. And the last place that I wanted to tell you about today is, again, back up over the bridge, and it's the Loch Leven Loop. Now it is a fair trek, so you have to have a certain level of fitness and be committed to it, because it's a big loch, and it's about a 13-mile walk to get round it. And once you sort of start, you're pretty much committed, you know, you either have to come back or carry on right round. So I would say pick a good day for it, and make sure you're in good shoes and that you've got a good level of fitness for this one. But it's really quite a flat walk, so it's not as physically demanding as, say, going up into the Pentlands at the reservoir, but it is quite a distance. And that's a really good walk, and again it's quite shaded, so good for the summer. You know, there's trees most of the way around it, so you know there is parts that are a little bit exposed, but it's quite a good shaded walk. You can get right round, you can stop and have a picnic part of the way round. Your dogs are going to love it, they can get in the loch. And again, there's a great wee cafe about halfway round. I wish I could remember what it was called, I'm sorry. Probably should have looked this up before I started the live. But there's like a great cafe. A lot of buses pull up there, a lot of the bus tours that do the Loch Leven route pull up at the cafe. So it's a great one. You can stop and have a little break, but there's plenty of places as you walk around to stop, and there's like little picnic tables and little benches and stuff. So, you know, if you've got kids as well and you maybe don't want to go right the way around but you want to make a day of it, you can obviously just walk around part of it, maybe park in the car park next to the cafe, stop and have a picnic somewhere. So it's a Loch Leven, thank you Lisa, yes, that is it, the Loch Leven Larder, and it's a great little cafe, it really is. So yeah, a great day. Again, the dogs absolutely loved that when we were there. I think the day that we did that, when I had Charlie, the border collie, who loves the water, so he was in and out the whole day. And so yeah, if your dog likes a swim, it's a great location. But if they're not a big swimmer, it doesn't matter either, because they can stay in the woods and there's plenty to keep them occupied. What's Tam saying? I think I need an Edinburgh-based break with Thea and the dogs. Yeah, Tam, it really is. Like, I know I've said this in a lot of live posts before, but Edinburgh is so dog-friendly within the city, but also we're so lucky that there's so many places close by, amazing, beautiful walks that you can go on with your dogs. Like I say, whether it's the coastal routes and you're by the sea, and the beaches are amazing, they're absolutely amazing here, or it's in the woods or up the hills. So yeah, I cannot recommend Edinburgh highly enough for a visit with your dog. Yeah, and there's so many dog-friendly places you can stay as well. You know, there's dog-friendly accommodation. In fact, I might do that. I might talk about that another week, actually, and tell you about that, because I have loads of people message me saying that they want to come to Edinburgh to try out all these places. So I'll do that another week. I'll tell you all about places you can stay, Tam. So guys, yeah, that's it. That's 4 of our favourite spots. I don't want to give them all away because some of them remain secret, but they are really, really good ones. Surely I love Gullin. Yeah, Gullin's brilliant. It's lovely, lovely walk. Tam saying I've been to Edinburgh a few times, but just when I was younger and I got drunk. Yes, Edinburgh is also a very good night out. And the good thing is, as you know, if you watch my posts regularly, there's lots of dog friendly pubs as well, so you can come and have a wee drink and still bring your dog with you. But yeah, guys, so that's some of my favourite spots. Do check them out. You'll especially in this weather, your dogs will absolutely love it. They'll if you haven't been before, you'll love it as well. Genuinely, the views are amazing. it's so nice to just get a full day out with your dog as well, and just spend the time with them. I absolutely love the Clan Chieftain Crusades are my favourite thing to do, because we can really get away, and you know, we break it up because it is a long distance, so we break it up. We do little mental enrichment exercises, we stop and have water breaks. The dogs, you know, we find a little shady spot and the dogs have a little break, but they can go in and play in the water, and yeah, really good fun. So guys, if anyone is interested in actually joining the clan, I actually have just had a spot come up. Unfortunately, one of my little clan babies is moving out of Edinburgh actually to Glasgow very soon, in the next couple of weeks, so I have got a spot available. So if anyone's interested in joining the clan, do message me, because as I say, there is a wee space, so I'll happily answer any questions that you might have. I'm just seeing what's going on here. Claire, can't wait to see Edinburgh over the weekend. Yeah, so some of my colleagues, we all share a mentor, Dom, who I interviewed a few weeks ago. So a few of us are all out in Edinburgh this weekend actually, so really looking forward to it. And Shirley, as a Glasgow person, I ought to visit more Edinburgh. Yeah, it's very different. Glasgow's an amazing city, but Edinburgh, I absolutely adore Edinburgh. Yeah, I've lived here for 5 years now. It's my favourite city. I've lived all over the UK. It's my favourite city by a mile. It's such an amazing place. But that's it, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully it's given you a little bit of inspiration, somewhere else to go with your dog. And please do join me again next Monday, because Lisa and Daisy are just going to be, that's going to be fantastic. You're going to totally fall in love with Daisy. She is the cutest dog ever. And I do think that you'll really find the Therapet thing. If you've not heard of Therapets before, it really is worth tuning in, because it's so interesting, it's such a good cause, and if you do have a dog that you're keen to become a Therapet, then Lisa will be able to tell you about how she got involved in it and how you can do it as well. So until then, I will see you next week, guys. Have a fantastic week, enjoy the sunshine, and I'll see you then. Bye.